Our production assistant isn't here.
Yeah.
I had to lock him in the back.
Shit, I'm doing this like a fucking, like a CI.
It is a beautiful day. We still in the shop, break free, Mondays and Tuesdays. We're hungry. We got Schmitty on the ones and twos. The sound, the editing, the visuals, you know. Keep it on the low though. Don't tell nobody that Schmitty is filming us. We don't need no static. We don't want no beef, you know what I'm saying? And we got the man, the myth, the legend, Rick-I. Woo! Rick Ibaseta. All right, before we even go anywhere, right? That name is just sick. What's your heritage?
Filipino and Spanish.
Filipino and Spanish. All right.
The name's actually pronounced Ibaseta.
Ibaseta.
Ibaseta. My friends
They just fucked it up.
I just rolled with it. My grandpa is from Santander, Spain.
Okay.
Yeah. Then he went to Philippines and then.
Did you grow up?
I grew up in San Francisco.
Oh, you grew up in the city?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because the blood, I'm going to just keep it real. With anybody watching, they're going to probably be like, oh, how did you know that? I met Rick just on some homie shit, you know? So it's a lot of, and that's how it is for a lot of people that come on. Like, we met just out because I know someone you know, and we just kicking it, or maybe I'm rapping somewhere or some shit like that. And then over the years of knowing certain homies, I'm like, oh, that's homie from this ad and some shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it takes me a second to catch on.
It's been a long time, dude. That's fucking over 30 years now since. Still going though, right?
Yeah,
we
you
got
still
to.
roll around or not?
You got to. You got to.
For sure. Yeah, I'm always at least pushing to the fucking store.
Dude, shit's got to remind you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but what sparked it for you though?
Check.
What even was it like seeing some?
Dude, I have photos of me with skateboards when I was 5 years old.
Okay, so that's why I'm like, it was just as naturally. You seen a board.
I don't know, naturally. My brother and cousins would always skate, and I would, I don't know. I think that's how I picked it up.
Word.
I remember like one time they were going down this hill, or they were trying to go down the hill, and they made me go.
Okay.
Like, it was always me. Let him go first. You know what I mean? So I went, scraped up my face.
For sure.
Went back up and did it again. You know what I mean? So I kind of liked it.
Okay.
But then that was just whatever back then. And another time I remember just going out to buy a skateboard was with my cousin in LA. Like, I was spending some time in LA, and I had like $20 and went into a Big Five or something and fucking saw a board, and we just skated, and I never let go.
That was a jam, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a trip, man.
But I think it was around 86 or something, 85 maybe. Henry Rollins cover? Does that make sense? Thrasher, 85 maybe? 80? No, maybe it was a Jesse Sacto cover. It was yellow. They were both yellow. But whatever. That one did it. Future Primitive, when I saw that, I was like, fuck it, that's what I'm doing.
On it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then, like, what was your crew, though? Like, when you got away from the Cuzzos and shit, what part of the city was you staying? South City, or actually, like, in the heart of the city, or where?
In the Sunset.
In the Sunset?
Excelsior and the Sunset.
Okay, you was really a city for sure.
I met some kids, like, when I started going to this school, EP.17, and I met some other skaters there, and I was already going down to Embarcadero because that was the place to go down to. That was the place you would, if you cut school, had nowhere to go, you would go down there and skate. You know what I mean? Like, that's where you would go.
That's what it seems like the vibe was like. It's, besides like all the history that is now called history from when y'all was kicking it there and shit, but it definitely seemed like a spot. Like, cause Casey's always talking about how he was always down there and like hanging out, but like just kind of on some.
Casey.
Okay, yeah. Casey, that he came in and did some shit with.
Right.
I know you used to see him down there for
sure.
Yeah. Right? But he was always he brought it up on like his parents didn't really know he was going over there, and like he was just like.
No, that was like a second family. Dude.
Yeah.
It was like it was people who you had stuff in common with. It was like your people. You know what I mean? Like.
Word.
Yeah.
The homies.
Exactly.
But before EMB though, was it somewhere else you was Conjuring like that?
It was the neighborhood. We would just skate Sunset. We would skate jump ramps. We would take trips to downtown or hop on the bus to Ogtown or Concrete Jungle.
I was just about, you took the words out of my mouth. So was you seeing Arco behind the counter?
Arco was the guy you wanted to skate like. No, I'm serious. Like, he did everything perfect.
Damn.
He knew. I remember skating Concrete Jungle, and there was like an I-beam, like a railroad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he would fucking do slappies on it. Clean. Just wow. Every time. He had like these slappy lines that I was just like, okay. Even at Embarcadero, there would be the curved stairs.
Yeah.
He would, this was all Borgie Copered up and everything back then, you know what I mean? Word. He would fucking slappy, hit the corner, and as soon as he hit the corner, he'd hit the second step.
Yeah.
So it was all one motion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was two slappies in one. And then come off it and just flow.
But Art's not that older than you though, right? But he was like the guy behind the counter when you got there.
At Concrete Jungle?
Yeah.
No, dude.
No, so not even.
The guy behind the counter was Jake.
At that time.
Can you fucking imagine that shit, being a little ass kid?
I try
walking
to
in
sometimes because I imagine
and having
kids,
that dude there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he always gave me love though, like
for
always.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, you got that vibe. Like, obviously you was there and you seen some shit and you had to deal with some shit, but you seem like.
That was the team.
You was just keeping it cool though, like, yeah, what's up?
That was the team. To that, if you were in SF or just around here, you wanted to be like part of Concrete Jungle, just because of the fucking rippers, dude.
Now was so Carroll crazy. A part of Concrete Jungle?
So,
because
Mike, Mike, Javante, Greg, and myself, like that was our little crew when we were like when we figured it out. That was our crew. You know what I mean? Like before that,
was Chico?
Chico lived down the street from Mike.
Yeah, because I always hear the story where Chico used to kind of like try to bully Mike and shit.
A little bit.
This is like before dating.
Everybody hated on Mike because he was so fucking good.
I was talking to Noah Peacock one day, and I was giving him a ride, and just out of curiosity, I'm like, oh yeah, like, you see Mike Carroll and shit? And he was like, dude, Mike Carroll was Public Enemy #1 at one point in time. And I was like, what? It didn't really like make sense. And he was like,
no, it was just because he was so good. There was nobody. Okay, so there was Ollie airs off jump ramps. The only people that could do it was Tommy. And the only other person that could do it was fucking 12 years old. And did that shit almost as high, dude. Fucking people hated on Mike.
Noah said he used to come pushing from way up the street, was blasted. Wow! I was like, wow.
And not only that, like when mini ramps came out, Mike just fucking found his niche. You know what I mean? And he would ollie the fakie so high and just fucking crush it, like lines for days. You know what I mean? Like it was insane.
That's fucking badass. So you're here, like, so you're just cruising with all the homies like that. Then EMB came into play, and then that's where y'all was looking up. Did you skate for World Industries?
I did not.
What was the first company you skated for?
So FTC was my first sponsor.
Okay.
And then I got on Shut Skates out of New York City.
Okay.
I think that was because of Danny Sargent and Coco.
Did you got a part in the Spitfire video?
I did not.
The first one, no?
Nope.
Okay.
I was supposed to, but I didn't.
Because
there was like a little bit of drama. I wasn't gonna ask with
when you just said Coco. I was like, damn, maybe I can't. I should have watched the video, but I don't do no research.
Paul Schmidt told me I couldn't ride Spitfires when we started riding. Like, I rode Spitfires from the start. Like we got. I don't know. Like it was just like.
I heard that fool still's got Danny Sargent's like. Pro boards, like some old boards that Danny was like trying to get. Danny, what? Shout out to Danny fucking Sargent.
What's up, Danny? What's good?
Danny.
So Shut. Also, Barker was skating for them, and Barker came out here and skated with us.
Okay.
early, like serious. He came out here with 2 friends from PA.
Wait, because Shut's in New York, right?
Yeah.
And so Shut was sending you shit out here?
Yeah.
Because they was like, we fucking with you.
Yeah.
That's
they
tight.
gave me love, dude.
That's
Shout
tight.
out Shut. Yeah.
Did Sheffy skate for Shut too?
Sheffy did skate for Shut.
See, some shit I know randomly. I don't even know how I know that. But.
So I think the Shut team was East Coast version of our Concrete Jungle team. You know what I mean? It was just fucking...
Just hitters.
Just the dudes.
Yeah. But Julian was creeping around too, right? Because he was...
Julian's a unicorn, right? He's like... He was always like... The guy that was like kind of... I don't know, you call him misunderstood or whatever, you know what I mean? But Julian's his own person, and
the only reason I'm placing him in this right now is because he's told me a story before when, whatever, he can tell his own stories when you see him, but it's just talking about like going to the shop and Jake being behind the counter. So it's like placing me. That's making me think, okay, so he was a youngster around this time too.
Well, he would be behind the counter with Jake instigating too.
Shit. There's always little tad bits to some of these stories that you never really get, dude. That makes sense. But only reason I'm saying it too, though, is like that he says Jake, showed him how to bomb hills pretty much, just like, you're waiting on the bus? All right, kid. Like, stupid. I must fucking use this board and get down the hill.
Nick and Joey lived on 9th Ave, and we lived on that hill. We literally lived on that hill.
So this is like literally a lot of the homies, the shit that is like, stuff like Girl, Ace, Diamond. Y'all literally are just homies, bombing hills, kicking it. Oh, what? You live right here? All right, what's up, dude?
Yeah. Like, I would be like late for school, and I'd be waiting for the train, right? Down on, this would be like 40th and Taraval or something.
Damn.
And Joey went to the school that I wanted to go to, Independence. 1 day a week, dude, just bring in your homework. That's a school I wanted to go to. I'm already late for school, and here's Joey coming down the hill, going to school. He'd be like, all right, I'll meet you here in 10 minutes, fuck school. So we go skate, you know what I mean?
Sick.
Like, so that's how it was, like.
Damn, bro. Been an ace pilot.
Been. So like, fucking hell, what was a good one?
Yeah.
Being on the bus with Jake and him talking shit about if you guys can fucking beat me down this hill, blah, 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 blah. Just talking shit all the way up, you know what I mean? Like, on the 6-point he's talking shit. And then Joey, Nick, and I would just be looking at each other like, all right, whatever, dude, you know what I mean? Got up there and dusted him.
He's just like out here in the streets, just stoking people up.
Yeah. Well, he was pushing us. You know what I mean? The whole time. Like that was it.
Yeah, man. It is what it is. It's life. Things go through circles and cycles and stuff. But you hear it from some people. I hear it from It Matters when it's like, oh, some things just ain't the same over there or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, whatever. Like certain entities come into play in certain institutions that bring it to what it is, and then other motherfuckers got to carry it on. That's why we still talk about them.
Hey, that's the Bible. We got to keep it going.
Got to keep it going straight the fuck up. Yeah. So yeah, you got on Shut, but did you skate? Would you skate after that?
From Shut, I got on, like, New Deal started.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like, it was like a new company. Like it was.
Paul Smith was pressing up Shut?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all.
But New Deal was Schmidt Sticks.
It was Schmidt Sticks.
Yeah.
But Schmidt Sticks was leaving Vision.
That's right.
I thought I was getting on Schmidt Sticks, and then I got like, one day I just got this box at the house.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck are these boards? You know what I mean? They're fucking rad. And then, yeah.
Man, that's what's up.
And then, what was that? What were we talking about?
New Deal or Shut?
Oh yeah, Shrugi.
Oh, Shrugi.
Shrugi.
Yeah.
That guy gave me Spitfires and Thunders when I was like, I was probably like 15, 16.
Word.
Came home and there was like a box of shit. So that was like my second sponsor after the shop sponsor before Shut.
Okay, yeah, Thunder's in. Yeah, I was thinking when you said it's about Spitfire, it made me think, about Thunder back in the day, and Shroogie working there and shit.
Yeah.
Or like starting it or whatever.
Shroogie used to drive us around in his little RX-2 Mazda Rotary and take us to like Pleasant Hill Pool or some crazy ditch in Concord with a wall ride. I don't even know if you guys ever been to that one, but it was pretty sick.
Probably not, but
pretty
not
sick.
Me.
It was like
Schmitty probably been there.
Oh, the top down one?
I think that one's like the fish one, right? No, this was in Concord, and maybe Dave Warren or Frost Dad had a photo wall riding over like a little gap channel. Pretty sick. It's old school.
Hey, so what is like? Was Tony Hawk like ever? Did you ever like cruise into Tony Hawk world? And, like
Tony Hawk?
like
God.
Cause like Tony Hawk is a big deal, right? Like,
yeah.
Huge skater.
Dude, one Tony Hawk story I remember was pretty crazy. Sacramento contest.
Okay. Cause you skated contests and shit, right?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Most of the time I was drunk skating the contest.
For sure.
Dude, at the fucking Sacramento contest, he's trying, I think it's a heel flip lean. There's probably footage of it. And he committed to this one and slid out and hit his head, dude, and it was gnarly. Like, he got up and people were like, he's like, "Are you all right?" and he was just like, "I don't have the keys to the van." And we're just like, "Oh, fuck, dude."
This dude's gone.
Yeah. Chill for a minute. But that was one. Another one was like, my daughter and I were traveling somewhere, and it was just like, over the speakers, the loudspeakers was like, "Tony Hawk, can you please come to the gate?" And we just looked at each other. He wasn't near us or anything, you know what I mean? We're just like, okay, that's pretty funny. So that's like an inside joke for us now. It's like,
that's what's up, bud. Like, but was, cause I just wonder, you know, like, cause that was like like one of the biggest dudes, right? And like, do you think like skateboarding is like that still, where there's like a one big entity in it? I mean, I guess like Soy was also a big ass name, but there's like Alva, and like some names that kind of like a Michael Jordan type of thing.
Well, back then, skating was pretty tight knit and closed and not open to everyone, kind of, right? That's how it was. It was really tight, and I think that's why those names were big, because those were the only ones you can find, other than how much fucking talent they had, right?
Yeah.
Tony Hawk, Christian, Insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the ones.
But now there's kind of like the door's wide open, and it's an Olympics, because there's somebody.
Is that weird? Like before, like when we were kids, we're like, "Do you think skateboarding will ever be in the Olympics?"
I used to ask that question.
We used to wonder about it, and I just wasn't sure how. I was like,
so how do you feel about it now? Did it ever?
Dude, it's just. I mean, you can say like skateboarding is not about competitions or anything like that, because it's so open and you can take it your own way. You know what I mean? But contests have always been a part of it. You know what I mean? It's always been like that, and it was just a matter of time when it was going to be like some kind of team jockey thing. You know what
Olympics
I mean?
is the biggest fucking contest you can get too, right? Like,
yeah.
There's no other contest bigger than that. So
I don't think so.
Skateboarding is pretty intense. I mean, you look at like Bob and Danny Way jumping great walls and
dude, that's so crazy, right? That's gnarly.
Doing a concrete full pipe loop and shit like that. Like that's the limit, you know, that is getting pushed to.
And it's still being pushed. I mean, think about it. All the stuff that was being done back in the 90s are all standard shit now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but back then it was like, it was all new. It was
like you saying throwing out a heel flip lean, right? That sounds crazy to me, because it's some shit that I can never do, but like there's kids who are doing that like immediately.
I mean, it's just like that whole thing, like people who never seen skating watch a video. I think Jake was talking about this, and they see like, whoa, that's how it's supposed to be. Fucking big spin flip down 30 stairs. That's
Word.
normal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go try that first. You know what I mean?
Right? Like, fuck trying off a little curb
We
cut.
we grew up like trying to make it down this driveway. You know what I mean? Like
There's still that level to it.
we spent some time on our boards, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Cause some kid came in here the other day and he had some board that was like terrible, you know? Probably like that $20 board that you got from
Did you hook him up?
or whatever. Yeah, it took a second though because
Yeah.
he came in with his pops.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I couldn't tell if this was his dad kind of being like, yeah, this is what good boards look like.
Yeah.
So when it's time for you to get one, but I'm like, I couldn't deal with it because they got out the door. And like I just was like, and I remember we had some like kind of like loner beer board in the back, and I was like, hey, like come back and
That'll stoke him, you know what I mean?
yeah, because he was bummed, dude. It was like he had like tire marks in his, or like you know like wheel marks in the, so he's like wheel biting, crazy, like deep into the board, and I was like,
Dude,
oh,
wheel bites are the worst.
terrible.
You ever like, what's even worse than a wheel bite is like when you're fucking charging towards a jump ramp and you reach down to fucking yank and you wheel bite on your fucking finger, dude. That's the worst.
Oh, damn.
That happens, dude.
Yeah, that's gnarly. That's gnarly.
Yeah.
So when Mike and all those fools went down to LA, did you ever go down there with them and kick it and shit?
I'd go down. I always went down to LA.
Oh,
I always
already?
skated down there.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
for sure.
I would always go down there. It was like a summertime thing for me. Ever since I was little, I would get shipped down there,
Word.
and then my cousin would come up here. But like later on, we would just go down to LA and skate. One of my first skate trips to LA was with friends, I should say, was Javante, Jake Rosenberg. Maybe Sam Smythe was in the car with us.
Sick.
And we drove down and skated and hung out with Trent Gaines and Guy and them down
sick.
down in Whittier, La Habra, wherever that was.
Yeah.
It was-
I was about to, yeah.
It was so much fun, and down in Hollywood and stuff, and it was crazy. It was a fun time.
Did you ever live on the East Coast?
I lived there for about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
New York?
yeah. I lived in New York.
Oh, hell yeah.
Skated out there for a while, and everyone
was
was
the
coming out
kickest
here.
spot?
I went out there.
What was the kicking spot out there? Like was you going to was it the Brooklyn Banks and shit? At
The
that
Banks
time?
was one of them. I liked skating this place, Time Life.
Oh, bro, did you see Harold Hunter?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that was.
Shit.
I have my friends lived a few blocks away from there, and then that's where I stayed, and we would skate there. We would skate. God, I don't remember what streets it is, but it's a ledge, brown ledge, drop, whatever. We'd skate
got
there.
miles,
And
dog.
we would skate. Battery Park was fun, and so was Bubble Banks and Union Square. We'd skate a lot out there.
All right, so boom.
Astor.
You was up in the city, New York, but then I'm just thinking about, I wanted to ask you about the Weedberry. Remember that Weedberry story I brought up random? Y'all went to fucking
The fight in Oakland.
Atlanta, Georgia. Y'all got off the Marta together.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, just some ignorant ass dude talking about shit, thinking we would laugh at his fucking
and it wasn't
racist ass
funny.
jokes, and we
Yeah.
just looked at him and just fucking walked away from him. You know what I mean? Like, what the
That
fuck?
I think Wheat told me that story because he remembers the joke verbatim.
Well, the thing is, like,
yeah, because you wouldn't have told me that story.
Danny was supposed to go on that trip with me. Mm-hmm. I get to the airport and Wheat's there, and I'm like, all right, Wheat, let's go. I'm like, where you staying at? He's like, so he's like, I think he stayed with Thomas.
Yeah.
And then
God bless the dead, Thomas Taylor, man. Still
and I stayed with Andy Howell, and we skated Skate Zone and Southern Belle and all these fucking rad ass. You know, you get to a city, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
The cement feels softer and it doesn't hurt. Like, you're like, what the hell? You just get hyped, you know what I mean? You get like, you skate new shit and you're like, oh. But then that shit, yeah.
it's hella
you know,
hot
you know
out there,
how
too.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we were talking about the city to city or back to the city contest right? And you were saying that you couldn't make the third one because you
The
was in.
third one, we were.
But you said you couldn't make the third one because you was in Paris.
Oh yeah, we were like I was stuck out there with Jeff.
What was you doing in Paris though?
We did that. This was probably '93. Oh God. We did this. I was traveling with Julian and Joey and Arco and
On just like
fucking
Thrasher trips and shit?
It was our own trip, you know what I
Really?
mean? Like Jake was with us, Cardiel was with us. It was like early Hell Ride shit.
I was about to say Hell Ride
It was
shit,
early.
for sure.
It was like that's fucking. It fucking set it off. Like
Yep.
I don't. It was Spain. It was Paris. It was Amsterdam, Belgium. Like some crazy ass places and. Most of the time I just spent it with Tobin and Pang, but it was pretty sick.
Yeah, that's what I asked Julian.
But yeah, I got stuck out there. Julian was with us, like actually.
That's sick, dude. Nah, yeah,
There's-
that's it. Man.
Dude, on that trip, the last time Julian fucking started a fight by just talking about just by talking about a falafel, dude.
Oh shit.
So we're standing. It was like a fucking busy street, right? And there's this guy making falafels, and Joey and I and Skip are eating falafels, and Julian decides to buy one. And he takes a bite, and he's just like, this falafel sucks, and throws it at the guy, right? And then some guy walking by said something, and the vendor looks at him and thought he did it. So they start yapping, and the vendor guy jumps over his thing and they just start fighting. And Skip's watching this shit, and the guy walks up to him and borrows his board. His board's like sticking up like a diving board like that, right? And he's all borrows it, whacks him on the head. Dude drops, puts it back under Skip's foot, jumps back over and just keeps cooking.
That is a trip.
And we turned around and Julian was gone. And I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw him until we got back to the city.
Out of there. Dude, that's a trip, cause that's probably, cause I asked him, I was like, what should I ask Rick? He's like, just ask him about EMB, but like, he's probably like, don't ask that fool about shit.
Yeah, it's probably better.
Cause he's hella fired up that I'm like chopping it up with you, and I'm like, like I said, I meet y'all way after the fact. Like, whatever y'all was doing, I probably was, still in like diapers or some shit, some of these stories or whatever, you know? So I don't know. So it's just always sick to see the reactions from some homies that are like, oh, what? You know, you chop up with this homie? I'm like, oh, y'all know each other? And little I know, you were there for the falafel fight. It's pretty sick.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's tight though, because I guess like I'm putting it all together that skateboarding just had you rolling around to all types of different spots and homies.
So fortunate, dude. It was so crazy that I got to kind of link up with people with like the same interests and shit, and we were able to just like grow and move together. And actually like your friends,
yeah,
you actually got to travel with them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, let's go, and you actually got to skate shit and come back and share those stories. Like,
it is a double whammy, right? Because traveling is already one thing.
That's right.
But then you're like,
you get to know your friends too, like road trips and stuff like that. You get to know like your real friends are. Like,
for real,
pretty crazy.
And yeah, you know, that can be like one horrible night out of a bunch of great nights too, though. You know,
for real.
Yeah, skateboarding is legit, bro. I love it, for real.
No, what would you be doing? You know what I mean? Like, what else? I don't know what I'd be doing if I didn't pick up a skateboard.
For me, with the shop, I probably would be, just like working some other job that, whatever.
I mean, like, it's seriously...
This is fun for me. I like it.
Yeah. You're doing what you love, dude. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but what was like a day though at NB, like?
A day?
Like, you know, you wake up, you're on your way down there. Where you stopping to get brew? You stopping to get brew, weed, dude? What you?
Getting weed back then was crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
You had to hang out with that motherfucker for like an hour so you weren't going in and out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, to sell you an A.
Because now, if you're on your way to EMB or the beautiful Civic Plaza that they just built, you can stop at 10 weed stores on the way there, and like it's all good. But
it kind of takes away a lot from it. You know what I mean? It was so awesome when it was illegal because it made it more fun. Now it's like a chore.
For real, it was like a grocery bill. It was like, fuck.
They need better packaging too. They all this plastic shit everywhere.
I know. I need to repurpose some bamboo.
A day, oh man. Most of the time it was like, there's a time where it wouldn't be like the place you would go first. It was like, hey, I'd get a call from Jim when it was like, Thebo would call and say, hey, you want to meet me over here? And then like Javante would just be there. Tay and I were like this, you know what I mean? Like,
sick.
Like from probably 15 on, just skating. We would meet at Safeway or we would meet at Eddie's, have breakfast, and then we would skate different things and end up at Embarcadero.
Okay.
It would be like a destination, not just like
wake up.
We would skate to there, you know what I mean? For the most part, like
somebody like Kelsto was probably going there, just waking up and just going straight there.
That's how it was.
He's like, I gotta go clear the ground.
Kelch was awesome. You know what I mean? Like,
damn, yeah. Oh, it's always cool to hear like how people bring his name up and like just that time and that it's just dope because I used to go walk through Embarcadero as a kid because my mom worked in Embarcadero like 4.
Nice, that's where it's at. That's the one.
Townsend and Townsend, just like cutty ass fucking paralegal office or something.
Yeah, it was probably.
So I was going to that Chevy's when that Chevy's was over there. Like, really was kicking it there, but didn't know I would be like hanging out there with some homies skating like years later.
That's dope.
Or just all that history was going on there at that time. I was just a little kid, and then also my brothers was always in the TLs, like fucking around in the TLs and doing shit like that.
Shell lived in the TL, and that's where we would end up later on, just partying and stuff. But like, fuck, I don't know. I lost my fucking thought there.
FTC,
Embarcadero.
Embarcadero. But FTC was like the common thread. That's what I'm putting up together right now too. That was a common thread. Yeah.
FTC sponsored Javante, Greg, and Mike, and myself, and Little Nick. I don't know if you know who Little Nick Lockman is. He was like this big.
Nah.
His dad would show up at places with a tall can and just watch Nick skate, and we would just take Nick skating everywhere. And he was fucking awesome little kid.
He's still around?
But he was in the van.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, Kent would take us to all these contests.
Was you around when Ando started popping up?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Ando worked at FTC. I actually worked at FTC with Ando.
Okay, cool. But not to take you off your Ken story though, because you was about to say Ken would take y'all to contests and shit once he started sponsoring y'all.
Yeah, he would take us to contests in Turlock or fucking Modesto. We'd show up in the van and motherfucking Mike Carroll would come out first, and then Javante and Greg, and then we'd just show up and just fucking. It was always first, second, and third. It was pretty crazy. We ended up going down to Santa Barbara and skating in that Powell skate zone, kind of. What was it? It was like a skate shop contest, and we ended up taking that. It was pretty cool.
Man, that's tight.
Yeah, it was sick. FTC won it.
Yeah, so you were on the first FTC team.
That's right.
Yeah. That's pretty sick. Because FTC is definitely one of those establishments in skateboarding that before I was at this skate shop, it gave me that feel of like, okay, this is a homie vibe. If I was to ever be a part of any type of establishment with skating,
before it was a shop, it was in the back of a fucking ski and tennis place. And
what Ken just was like, let me pop in here and show a couple boards, y'all.
In the back, yeah. While he was down in LA studying, right, like going to college and stuff. But he had this little setup for us. I saw a list the other day on what we were allowed to have. It was pretty funny. But like we could get stuff, but he left that to I guess whoever was working there, like his dad, his mom, and some other people, and they didn't understand. Some of them didn't understand the sponsor thing. So they would like, oh, why are we giving you this for free? Why am I giving? So it was like that, and yeah, I got into it with his dad one time. And his dad pulled a. I went in there. I was like, oh, cool. I need shoes. I'm gonna go in there and get my shoes and my stuff, and it'll be cool. But I guess the day before, Tay and Mike and Greg were already there.
I already knew.
And I show up, and he's like, no, I can't. And I was like, fuck. And I don't know. I was just a dumb little kid, and I probably said, it's not probably, I told him to fuck off. And, and dude, he pulled a golf club on me, and I wasn't allowed to be in there for a while. It was pretty fun. I had to run out of the store.
Damn.
A little 15-year-old kid.
That's a trip. If there's any other skate shops around the world that you've been to, though, like home is home, right? But what are some other sick ones? I always gonna give a shout out to A-List Skate Shop, and it was in Copenhagen, like right over there by Pusher Street.
Plaza.
A-List.
A-List?
A-List.
Yeah, I didn't go to A-List.
Alice. That was the name of it. Alice, yeah.
I hung out with the dudes from Plaza and the dudes from Dancer.
Okay, that's it. What, in Copenhagen?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know Plaza. Yeah. Is that the one where they built
Fredericksburg.
Did they put a skate shop, a skate park like right across the street from it now?
I don't think so. I don't know. I didn't see it. It was fucking snowing. I couldn't see shit.
Okay, for sure. But then like little 5 points, Stratosphere.
Hell yeah.
Off tops.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? That shop definitely is holding it down.
Yeah, there's tons of fucking nice shops.
Skate shops are sick. But yeah, bro, that's pretty much what I'm about with the talk show. Just holla at homies that I know been doing it, been around, or trying to get into it. And
dude, I'm seriously lucky I can still skate right now.
Word.
Like, at least roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy. You get all these injuries. You get to a certain point, and you're just like, fuck.
Well, shit. What's one of your favorite ads you got though, or one of your favorite clips that you got?
Recently or
no, just all the time. Like, what's something that you feel like, if I could just get one more like that?
The Bryce cover. That was fun because we got a couple of shots from that day.
Sick.
That's one of my favorites. The Bryce Backsmith.
Tight. Covers, baby.
There's a Tobin one that was in Transworld, switch flip into this bank.
Where was it at? Where?
Harrison Street bump.
Okay, in the city?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tap in with Tobin and see if he's got that somewhere.
Yeah, gaps and stuff, I wasn't really too... I like going into transition to kind of smoothen out the landing. You know what I mean? Like, some shit was pretty harsh.
You got some China Bank clips too, yeah?
I love China Banks. Yeah. Arco found China Banks.
I know.
Arco probably found Embarco too, so.
For real.
Camden. I saw Camden the other day.
Oh, bro, I need to get Camden on here.
Dude, that is the homie.
Yeah. Because I remember one day getting on a train on 3rd Street coming from like a weed trimming job, and Camden was on the train too. And I don't know if he said something to me about my board or Thrasher, but he was kind of G-checking me, but not really. He was just like, oh, Thrasher. Yeah. I know those dudes. And I'm like, no, what dudes? Because I'm like, nigga, I know Jake.
That dude's ATV.
Yeah, and then he starts telling me like, oh, this and that, and blah, blah. I was like, oh.
Cam,
you the homie, more. Tell me more.
Cam lived on 40, like off of 44th. I lived on 40th. So Cam was the closest sponsored skater to me, right?
Sick.
So I would be knocking on his door like, hey, can I get some stickers?
Whoa.
Hey, can you, can we ride your jump ramp? Like me and Nick Tertier would skate over there. I'm like, Camden,
that's fucking legendary.
Can we skate your jump ramp, please?
Yeah, I gotta get him on.
Dude was sponsored by St. Ides. Come on, man.
I gotta get him on.
Yeah, you gotta get Camden over here.
For real. I got his number. I just gotta
Cam
set it
could
up.
blast backside airs.
Dude, he's got
go on a jump ramp and fucking spin backside 360 so far in Golden Gate Park, and then fucking pogo on your ass on a freestyle
Yeah,
board.
for real.
You know what I mean? Like,
Damn, that's a trip. Yeah, shout out to Cam. We're gonna get
what
him
up,
on
Cam?
here. Well, shit, I think we covered a lot of bases, you know what I'm saying? We got a day in the life at EMB on the way to EMB, you know what I'm saying? Got a crazy Julian story if you're still listening and happen to be on there. Break free, Mondays and Tuesdays at the shop. Rick-I, Big Hongry, Lil Webster's locked up. We'll see you later.